Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the sensational seasonal soups class, virtual cooking class. I am Charlotte. I will be your host for this evening. Joining me as my co-host, my friend, my colleague, super chef, Scott Tompkins.
That's me. I don't know about the super, but I'll take it.
Why not?
Hey,
Why not?
real quick, as we're getting into this, so far it already really smells good in here.
Yes.
Just those of you know that you're watching, those of you watching on Facebook, don't forget, anything you see Chef Charlotte grab or use for a recipe or a borosilicate bowl or anything, just know you can click on that link. It'll take you to the fantastic place where you can purchase said item and then cook along with us.
Yes.
And don't forget, on our YouTube channel, you can always go to see past classes, what's going on, what happened, where we were, what you missed out on. Go to youtube.com/HEB. Charlotte, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so we are doing sensational seasonal soups. Actually, we're just doing soup, and I thought the alliteration would be fun. Really quickly, the two recipes, I've already started in my Instant Pot. I just wanted to make sure we got this out of the way. What I'm taking out of this Instant Pot is bacon, but the two recipes that we are doing today, one is a coq au vin, which we are doing in the Instant Pot, which I've already started here. And the second recipe is a roasted tomato and red pepper soup, like tomato basil soup. It's absolutely wonderful. And we're doing that one stovetop in a Dutch oven. For those of y'all that aren't familiar, I got really excited about this bacon, and then it
looks really good.
And then it just went,
really good.
oh, so good. So coq au vin just loosely translates to chicken and wine. So it's a very traditional, classic French dish, typically braised in a Dutch oven. We're gonna do it in super time in the Instant Pot. I do wanna do a quick disclaimer on the Instant Pot. The name sort of denotes, I'm getting all this bacon out of here, guys. The name sort of denotes like somehow you would cook this food like instantaneous, like it is the future, right? But just like an oven or any sort of cooking vessel, it does take time to come up to temperature. That's also why I started the bacon ahead of time. So be patient with your Instant Pot. It does cook things that would normally take a long time, like uses pressure and heat to like cook a pot roast in 45 minutes instead of 3 hours, right? But be patient with it. It does take a little bit of time to...
it's a pressure cooker, so sometimes it takes a while to build up the amount of pressure, obviously, you need to cook it well, but it is a time saver when you're looking at a braised dish.
What I did, just so that you guys can see this from start to finish, what I did is I rendered off our bacon for our coq au vin. So part of... traditionally, in coq au vin, what you do is you would take this delicious cured pork and cut it into these cubes called lardons, and then render out the fat, and then you'd have, and then cook everything in that fat. You can't find lardons in traditional grocery stores, but I'm using the thick cut Pitmaster bacon. It works beautiful for this. We're using about a cup, so about 6 or 8 slices.
And if you have that Pitmaster bacon, it's a little more salty and smoky, a little bit thicker, and it's delicious.
Oh, it adds a great element of flavor. Okay, so I have set my Instant Pot to saute. On the saute function, I've given it about 30 minutes, and I'm going to add in my chicken thighs. So I've already rendered the bacon, taken out that bacon right here in front of it. Now I'm adding in my chicken thighs, and I'm going to sear. So searing the protein when you're stewing or braising is just a fundamental step. And what it does is it adds this element of flavor, layering flavor. It gives really good color. So from that Maillard reaction.
And you don't want like throwing the skin into like steam it. It gets
gray.
like,
it's just gray meat. That doesn't sound that appetizing, right? What I've done also is I've trimmed off any of the extra skin and fat in here. I also want to, just to bring something to everyone's attention, when you're cooking in an Instant Pot, right, and you can see this directly right here, as opposed to like a traditional like Dutch oven, right, which you can see on the stove over there, it's deeper, right, and it's more narrow. So when you put any proteins into the Instant Pot, especially during the saute function when you're trying to sear, the drier that protein is, the better chance of searing, right? So the drier, and like if you could bring it up to room temperature is also key, because what happens is as it sits in there, because the moisture, the steam, can't evaporate quick enough because there's not enough surface area, it sort of steams, and you don't get this really beautiful dark color that we're looking for from the sear. So I'm going to let that sit in there, and I think it's going to be okay. I think we're going to do all right. Well, we'll let that sit. All right.
And you're using a bone-in chicken thigh, skin-on bone-in chicken thigh, chef. But can you use if somebody's looking around going, hey, all I could find was the boneless chicken thighs?
You could do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, you could also use like drumsticks. Chicken legs are great. You could use like bone-in breasts. If you were doing the boneless, skinless thigh, you just want to, you wouldn't braise it as long. You wouldn't set the temp as long. All right. So while this is doing its thing, we're going to roast our tomatoes and peppers for our roasted tomato basil soup. I'm going to move that over just a little bit. Y'all can still see in there? Everybody's good? Before I start, we're going to do a pepper. Let's cut a pepper real quick. I am using the sunrise peppers, formerly known as stoplight peppers. I love these guys. I think I just love, look how pretty they look. Can y'all see how pretty they look in there?
Bright colors.
Love it. I'm going to use an orange pepper instead of a red pepper. You can use yellow if you want. I don't recommend the green peppers. They have this sort of like grassy vegetal flavor that is not, it's not as sweet as, say, the other ones, but
not as harmonious in the soup.
Not as harmonious. So for the bell pepper, just to cut it, I do it like so, right? Cut it into what I call lobes. They usually have like 4 or 3 sides, and it basically tells you how it wants to be cut. I take out this little pithy bit right there, that little white part. It's kind of spongy and holds a lot of moisture and doesn't really do anything. Also, I was they told me to do it in culinary school, so I do it.
You had to.
I had to.
Otherwise, you get flogged, right?
Yeah, right? I had to peel potatoes. No. All right. You just throw this into
Chop a case of parsley.
All right, so all I'm going to do here is cut these guys about the same size as my cherry tomatoes, all right?
That's for even cooking, right?
Yeah, even cooking. So you always, when you're roasting stuff, sautéing stuff, especially like stir fry, you want to make sure that everything that you're working with is about the same size because you want everything to cook at about the same rate. Okay, I think we're doing a thing in there. You can start to hear it. So can y'all hear the sound? I'll put my mic over there.
It's happy. No, it's happy.
Right?
Yeah,
so
it's moving.
You start to hear that sizzle. That means that we've got some of that moisture has evaporated and we're starting to sear. All right?
That caramelization process.
All right, we're cutting this guy up. Now, you could, instead of roasting this pepper in the oven, you can roast these peppers directly on the fire and get a great charred flavor. And I've got some to show you what that looks like too. All right?
I like that.
All right, getting this pepper over here. I'm going to go really quick, and I am going to, for my cherry tomatoes, I've got some Angel Sweets, and then I've got the Texas Roots. These are like little baby San Marzanos. They're so darling. They're great for snacking. I'm going to give these guys a quick rinse real quick before I throw them in my pot. I'm going to rinse them off directly in these guys right here.
And then you got an oven preheated,
I got it 400.
400-degree oven.
400.
Nice and hot.
Give these guys a little rinse.
This is nice. If you're just joining us, we just started. We're on the fantastic comforting soups class. We got the cocoa van going. Got chicken in the Instant Pot. We're about to roast up some tomatoes. Don't forget, if you're watching on Facebook, you can simply click on the link. Anything you see Chef Charlotte grab, click it, buy it, cook along with her, with us. We're here with you to support. All
right. So my trick for roasting vegetables is always start with a hot pan. So I've got our borosilicate guy right here.
Borosilicate.
We say it, it's fun to say, but what makes this pan so special is that it can go from cold to hot, hot to cold, like with no time at all, and it won't shatter. So it's like, it's tempered. Can you hear that sizzle?
It's basically bulletproof, is what I like to say.
Okay, so I'm adding in my cherry tomatoes. Rinse these guys. You could use whatever cherry tomatoes you want. These just happen to be the ones that I like in particular. I'm going to add in a little bit of olive oil, and I say a little bit, I mean like generous amount of olive oil.
Got to have a lot of olive oil.
Salt and pepper, always.
Lots of salt and pepper.
Lots of salt and pepper.
Got to season the food.
Yep. And so you probably noticed when reading through this recipe, if you have read through this recipe, is that it calls for coriander, which is not really typical of a tomato basil soup. But in honor of my friend Scott Tompkins, who loves to throw exotic spices into very traditional things, we are throwing this seasoning in here. The coriander plays really, really well with the sweetness of the pepper and the acidity of the tomato, but also at the same time, like, It's just a fun element. And I promise, if you've never used coriander, it's a very approachable spice. I'm a big fan.
It's different. And if you want to go if you're not a big fan of coriander and you want to go a different slant and maybe go a little bit more less toward Italian, you could always add a little cumin as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
More, Southwest.
All right. I'm going to take this guy. We're going to go in the oven. And we're going to do about 10 minutes. And what we're looking for is going to be these shriveled skins that are blistered and they look like they're about to pop. All right?
You want a timer for that there, Chef? Or are you just going to eyeball it?
I think I'll do it by feel. In the meantime, we're going to cut our Mirepoix for our coq au vin, right? So, and you'll notice that we're using Mirepoix in sort of both dishes. So Mirepoix is it is the aromatics that we use to make soup, stocks, and sauces, right? So, and is a fundamental of braising and stewing. So it is usually a ratio of 50% onion and 25% carrot and 25% celery. I like to go a little carrot heavy because I'm a big fan of, I like the sweetness that happens from the carrot.
I like a little more, I'm a little more celery heavy myself.
I know, you would. I am using just regular whole organic carrots. These are the carrots I buy at my house. I feel like because they have their natural packaging, they last a little bit longer. And then also I found out that I was today years old. It's kind of embarrassing, I should admit to it. That baby carrots aren't really babies. They're actually big carrots that have been whittled down, right? And so for some reason I'm like, well, I'll just buy this guy. All right, I'm looking for a peeler. I just have one.
You're telling me, Charlotte, that they take, that was good because I was always worried that these poor little baby carrots, they didn't get much time to grow up and be adults, and yet now you're telling me they just make the adults look like the babies. They cut them down, basically.
And then they have to and then they when you open the package, there's all that moisture in there. I'm just gonna go with this guy right here. I like these guys. They make me happy. And I love this peeler, by the way. Tompkins got this for me today.
I did.
Where'd you get this?
Oh, a little place I call HEB.
Oh. All right.
I kind of like those. Those are my favorite peelers. The only problem with those peelers are sometimes if you don't kind of dry them off very well, they'll tend to rust a little faster.
Yeah.
But they're good.
This stuff is good for compost or to put in a freezer and make stock if you make homemade stock. Okay, so for the carrot, we are going to do what we call
We're getting a lot of love in the chat about the borosilicate. They're talking about how Pyrex used to be made of the tempered borosilicate. Now they have to replace their old Pyrex with the new HEB, and it's a fantastic thing. It is. It's a great bowl. I talk about it a lot.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's no joke.
I am going to give our carrots what we call an oblique cut. It's very easy to do. You basically cut on the bias and do like a quarter turn, right? And the reason why I'm using this cut is, again, I was taught so, and therefore I use it. But
There's some good sound science behind it, where they do teach you that.
There is. So the reason why we use this cut is that a carrot obviously is a tapered shape, and so it's a very organic tapered shape. And we want everything that we are putting into our pot to cook at the same rate, right? And so you take something that is organic in shape and kind of, not imperfect, and you want it to be more uniform in shape, right? And so I'll show you again on this side.
Because you don't want it to cook at the same thing. You don't want something that's hard, something that's just super soft.
So we just do a bias cut, and we do a quarter turn. Boop.
Quarter turn. So just quarter turn cut, quarter turn cut.
I'm pretty sure there's someone out there going, that is the worst. That is the worst.
Well, it's a bias cut. Good thing is your instructors aren't here to slap you with a ruler and say you're doing it wrong, right?
Oh my God, nobody ever did that to me. Did somebody do that to you?
Yeah, well, I went to a different kind of culinary school. They were doing electroshock therapy and that kind of stuff. We won't go there though. That's all in my past now.
All right. So now we're getting to our celery. I've washed these guys, gotten some of that dirt out. I like, just for good measure, I kind of remove that end. It's like habit. But for, when when I'm using celery, I leave the leaf on. I just think it's pretty. I like the celery flavor of it. It's good to like put in chicken salads and whatever, but it adds this like celery essence without adding all the celery. Which, if you know me, you know that I'm not a big fan of celery, and would not be sad if it. You know what? I like its culinary purpose, but.
I like it too. It is good. It's like most herbs. Like, you know, you get a lot of that flavor in the actual stem of it and in the leaves as well. So that's same goes for the celery.
I think we're doing a good thing in here. I'm going to do my onion real quick, and then I'm going to pull this chicken out. All right, so for our onion, doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to top and tail that guy, which means we're going to take the stem end and the root end. We're going to cut this guy straight in half, peel off
kind of a rough cut. You're going more toward the size of your Mirepoix as well, right?
So there's no special technique here. Just give yourself a flat surface so this guy doesn't roll around on you and you don't cut your fingers. Cut him in half. And then just follow those lines on the onion like that.
The layers of the onion,
right,
follow the natural layers.
Which is really, you know what's really interesting is that like, in like Cajun or Creole cuisine, the Mirepoix is replaced with like the Holy Trinity, right? So it's like
bell pepper
instead of celery, right?
Yeah, or instead of carrot,
instead of
depending on
carrots,
which one you want to do.
All right.
Amy says, "What is the purpose of celery? I hate celery." Amy, you're so funny.
Amy said that.
You don't have to use it, Amy. It again is just.
What is the purpose of celery? I know. I'm with you.
Honestly, Amy, if I was going to direct you in a place, if you don't like celery, I would say in its place, use fresh fennel.
Yeah.
And cut it because it'll give you just especially with chicken. If you're pairing it with something else, I'd say maybe go with something else. But with chicken, fennel roasted like that and done up will melt down beautifully and has a really nice flavor. And it does not taste like celery.
Look at this, guys.
Get some good color on those
That is a good
guys.
sear.
There we go. You
got to see that?
Crisp up that skin.
Look at that. Ah, I love it. I'm super happy. Okay, this pan right here is going to be for our chicken when it comes out. I'm going to let that cook on the bottom side now, so we're going to sear that other side. And while that's happening, we're going to cut our onion for our soup. And I'm going to use a yellow onion for this one. Honestly, I feel like onions are interchangeable. It's kind of whatever you have in your pantry, especially for these applications. Typically, yellow onion is more sweet, a little sweeter. Oh my gosh, I'm very excited about this. All right. I mean, I guess like celery for me and like, let's say chicken salad, like I don't want to know it's there. I maybe want to taste it, but like I don't want to crunch on it. I'm not a big fan. All right. In its raw application. Same thing. We're going to do the same thing with this onion for our soup. I'm going to cut them a little bit smaller, but just rough cut, no big deal.
Yeah, I pretty much use shallots for everything calling for an onion because I just like that
He does.
flavor.
Stand by.
I took all the shallots. All the shallots. Are those all my
These are
shallots?
Tompkins shallots.
Look,
right
I don't have a
here.
lot of
That's
those.
all of them.
Use those sparingly, okay? There's a use for each
We don't
one
have
of
enough
those.
shallots. All right.
I bought all the shallots.
My onion for our soup. I'm going to grab some garlic while I'm here. I'm going to chop some garlic or rough chop some garlic for...
How many cloves are you going to use there, Chef?
Well, this right here, I'm going to add to our red pepper, tomato and red pepper. I've called that soup 7 different things today.
That's all right. It's all. I'm with you. I'm following
tomato,
along.
Pepper soup. And then I'm going to throw in all of these cloves right here, friend, for you and our coq au vin.
Coq au vin.
All right?
Like the more garlic you can use, the better.
I know. You'd love it.
It's antibacterial. You know, it's like it speaks my language.
Okay. Move my cup out of the way. All right, so Dutch oven right here. My Cuisinaware Dutch oven. I love this pretty color. I'm going to throw this guy on medium heat. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil. So I want everyone to know, like, my idea of a little bit of olive oil is like a 1/4 cup. All right? I say a little bit of olive oil, 1/4 cup. And when I say like a little bit of wine, I mean like 2 cups. All right, medium-high heat. We'll let that come to temperature. Let's come back over here. All right. Now I'm gonna take this. This looks so great.
Look at it. It smells really good.
It looks really beautiful. So we got a nice crispy skin.
Terry said she uses a coffee stamp for smashing her garlic. I'm assuming, Terry, a coffee stamp is what you use for espresso.
Yeah.
I need this. Terry, will you buy me an espresso machine so I can get on that same page?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to try that.
Because I want to use my coffee stamp for that. She said yes. All right, perfect. I'll give you the address. We'll hook it up, Terry. You're the best. This is like the best. This is you guys. You have to always have the best students come to this class.
I'm gonna set this chicken aside, and now I'm gonna add in our mirepoix. And I'm gonna move. Can y'all see in here? I'm gonna move it over. I want y'all to see. This is important. Come on. Okay, so you can see all those brown bits in there. That's called the fond, right? And what we're gonna do, that's like all the delicious flavory bits that have stuck to the bottom of the pan. And what's gonna happen is as we add in this the mirepoix, our aromatics, the moisture, the water that sort of evaporates out while it cooks, it's going to like deglaze the pan, and all those brown bits are gonna come up. It's great. All
so
right?
the fond is, you said a great word, fond, which is basically in French was the foundation for all the stuff you're cooking. So this would be the fond, all the leftover bits of the vegetables, the protein, just like she said. It's just building this foundation of flavor. Somebody asked earlier, can they use leeks instead of onions in this dish?
Yes.
I'm 100% on the leek
All right, yes. All right, I'm gonna add in this onion and this garlic into this pan.
I put leeks in my cereal sometimes just because it's just like, I love leeks.
That's it?
Not with every cereal. You can get away with it with most, though. I mean, I can't put it in Golden Grams, but I can put it in almost anything else. I found that leeks are pretty soft in most
Do you eat them raw or do you cook them? I'm adding a little more coriander to this dish, right here. I missed it. I'm sorry. Did you cook them or?
Oh no, I just throw them. You just chop them in and throw them in your Cheerios, just like that. Just a normal,
Okay.
I feel like that's pretty normal. I don't think I'm alone in this. I think other people with leeks in their cereal. You cook leeks in milk, right? And you make soup. So I feel like it's all kind of somewhat harmonious.
How's my saute? How are we? I got 6 minutes. We're gonna pump it back up to 8 minutes just to make sure we have enough time.
Plenty of time.
Oh my gosh, look how good this looks. All right, Tompkins, shall we check our?
Yeah, tomatoes. How are they looking?
Yes.
Are they a little blister? They've softened a little bit.
Yep, we're doing a good thing here.
So I don't remember if you said it, and if you did, we'll go back to it. But you talked about reasons for roasting tomatoes in a dry oven, like in a dry heat environment like this. You're going to concentrate some of those natural sugars, and you said tomatoes are obviously naturally higher in acid, some varieties more than others. But you're kind of softening some of the acid because a lot of tomato soups, if you don't really soften it in certain ways or add baking soda or something to it to kind of soften some of the acid, you can really be, a little hot. As far as acid goes, so it's kind of like a nice way to take the edge off it, giving that nice roasted flavor. And the natural umami in the tomatoes.
Yes, they do have natural umami. That's why tomato paste is so rich with it. Okay, so you can see that we started to brown our onions. They're becoming translucent. They've got a little bit of caramelization. So now we're gonna add a little bit of sherry wine. I'm using sherry wine instead of sherry vinegar. If you want, you can use red wine vinegar, either one. And we're just gonna let this cook out.
Just another layer of flavor. Just another
sherry
way to
and tomatoes is like a beautiful combo. And then, like this, I'm gonna come back over here. Look at these guys. See how now I can sort of scrape those little brown bits off? Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
It smells really good. I can smell the layers. I can smell the fond happening.
This is so satisfying, just doing this. Okay, it's a very satisfying feeling. All right, I'm gonna make a little bit of space because I'm gonna bring our blender over here because
Is it time?
It's time.
Soup is happening.
Soup is happening.
What's great about this is if you're just joining us, this is something you could literally jump right into and be ready for dinner in about 30 minutes on the soup, maybe a little bit more on the Instant Pot, depending on how hot you can get it.
Okay.
A little blended soup.
Y'all.
Soup class.
I'm thinking about how to do this without burning myself.
You got this.
I do got this. I can do this. All right.
If you get burns, my trick when I get burns, and I burn myself a lot, is lavender oil.
Lavender oil?
Will help you to keep you from getting the big blisters when you burn yourself good. Lavender oil has saved my life many a time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to bring, I don't know if I
need
need it, I'm going to bring next week my little $12 Oster blender to show you. You don't need to use a Vitamix to blend all this stuff. You can use a little cheap blender and do it.
You don't need to use a Vitamix blender. It just so happens to be the blender that we have on hand here.
That's right. Super blender.
Lucky me. All right, I'm going to bring the blender over here so you guys get a really good view of what's happening. All right, we've roasted everything. We've blistered everything. You can see all those delicious juices in there. Oh, wait. Do y'all want to do a roast, like a roasted pepper?
Yeah, throw one in there.
Okay,
I feel like, Charlotte, our dietitians will be very happy because this is a very colorful dinner.
Okay, so again, those sunrise peppers, all I did here for these is I just threw these guys directly into my flame. If you don't have a gas stove, you could just throw them into like a cast iron skillet or under the broiler in your, sounds like
oven.
Oven, all right? And this is a red one. And I know, should I put a little bit of that char in there? I know you like it.
I do like a little bit of the char. I feel like if you're going to char the peppers, you may as well throw a little bit in there for flavor.
So, really, to make a roasted pepper, once it's charred, black and charred, and it's hot, you want to throw this guy into a bowl and then cover it in plastic wrap, right? And just the steam from the hot pepper itself will trap itself in there, and the steam will force the charred skin away from the pepper, and then it's really easy to just, look how easy that is. But you like a little bit of that in there.
Yeah, I feel like, if you're going to blend it up, it's like I like seeing those little flecks of that, kind of roasted.
But that's where that good char flavor is. Oh, I love it. All right. So let's do it. Y'all want to?
You're going to take the time.
Am I getting any votes for no or any votes for yes?
No, everybody's yes.
Okay.
Do it.
I can see everyone's heads going, yes.
Right.
All right. Should I take out that little pithy part?
Nope, you can leave it.
Okay, we're going to
I'm not, that pithy part doesn't scare me. I know you removed it last time. I'm not scared of that pithy part.
All right, I'm going to throw this guy in there. Well, it's a thing, right? Like I was like taught.
Ana Gonzalez said, do it. Do it.
Okay. All right, here we go. So just some caution when you are putting anything hot into a blender, start on a low speed and give yourself, before you move up to a higher speed, and give yourself a little bit of venting, because what happens is the steam does a thing, causes this crazy vortex, and then you risk the splattering all over yourself. See, look at that. Look how hot that is. What? So, blast off.
We had a question, and I'll say it while you're blending because I know you probably can't hear me right now, Charlotte. I've never used a shallot. How do you clean them? To clean a shallot, all you would do is basically take the little root end off of your shallot. You'd peel off all the outer skin just like you would a regular onion, and then, because they're kind of oblong, they tend to be a little like either teardrop shape or a little bit kind of just an odd shape. Cut it in half. There you go, Charlotte's going to show you. Cut it in half, and then you just chop it just like a regular onion.
All right, so we go.
I'm going to show you right now. The onion.
Just like that?
That's a perfect little teardrop style shallot. You just cut it in half, peel it off.
Like this?
They're so good. I'm telling you, once you start using shallots and things, you'll never go back to regular onions. Nothing against regular onions. They all are great, but shallots are the best.
Okay. All right, I'll just do this quick little guy for my friends out there. Who wanted to know how to do this? I want to call you out by name.
I don't know.
That's okay. All right. So, just like so, then...
There was a question on, I think, Facebook.
Just like that.
Because you see the shallots do have layers, just like an onion. It's a little bit smaller, just like using a smaller, like the size of a large clove of garlic. Just like so. Peel out the outer end, take the little stem off, same way.
Just like that,
They're so good. And now, it does take more shallots to make up, that of an onion, but
all right,
fantastic.
Okay, let me give this guy a stir over here.
Looks really good.
Oh my gosh, okay. Oh,
is it ready to go? We ready to braise? We ready to add everything in?
Not yet, chef. I got to set this aside.
It's super antsy.
I know. I got so many things going. I'm very excited. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here. We're gonna get to that in a second.
You're doing a great
this
job.
Guy,
I'm into everything that's happening. I'm just very impatient because I want to.
Okay.
I want it all to.
Me too. I'm so impatient. That's okay over there. All right, now we're gonna get to my favorite part. All right, this is my favorite part. This is where we do the Sanger. So this is the part in which I learned today is strictly a culinary term, a French culinary term. But this is where we add in. I got another Instant Pot over there with something in it. This is where we add in the flour, right? And we're gonna use about a 1/4 cup, and we're gonna mix this flour with the vegetables and the fat that's rendered out in the bottom of the pan, and we're gonna create a roux. Now the recipe does call for 3, ooh, we got some dark stuff going on down there. 3, what do you call it? 3 tablespoons of butter. You're not gonna really need that right here, just because there's so much from the fat from the bacon, but if you wanna do it and you wanna follow that recipe, I support you in that adventure. All right, now we're gonna add in a little more sherry. You could do red wine vinegar if you want.
A little more.
Ooh, it's getting down to
2 cups of sherry.
Oh, all sec. Here we go, almost dry. I'm gonna turn this off for a second.
So yeah, that Sanger, you're adding a flour to it, create a roux. It's going to thicken up the sauce at the very end. Everything's going to braise.
It's going to be beautiful. You can see it's already doing a thick thing. Oh, I got some browning, some good solid browning down there in the bottom. We're going to add a little wine. I'm using this is like the St. George.
Oh, do you have I have a glass up there that says Fort Scott, and it's a 750 ml cup.
Yep, that's it. I have it.
Do you see it up there?
How about I just get you a straw, friend? All right, so I've added in my wine. I'm going to add in chicken broth, but while I was at HB, I was like, ooh, chicken stock, chicken broth. And then I found bone broth, and this one's rosemary and lemon, and you could literally just drink this like so with a straw.
It's delicious.
But I think it adds some flavor, so we're going to add that straight in there. I'm going to return my chicken.
That's right, and all the juices.
And we're gonna just let that sit right on top. So when you're braising something, you really want to do like a 3/4 cover, right? So 1/4 of the protein should be sticking out, right?
And in Instant Pot, it's great because you are going to pressure cook these, so they're going to really they'll be nice and tender no matter how.
Throw that juice in there. Get rid of this guy. We're gonna add in some thyme. I'm not like the thyme, but some thyme. And I'm just gonna throw these guys in whole. Now, the recipe says and traditionally, you would put the bacon back in here, right? But personally, it's just a texture thing for me. Like when you rehydrate bacon after you've crisped it up, it kind of gets, I like the crunch, right? So I'm gonna save the bacon for last, and we're gonna use it as a garnish.
As my garnish.
So then I'm gonna close this guy up.
Line it up, Charlotte.
Then I'm going to find my button that says meat and stew. We're going to give this 40 minutes. Bob's your uncle, all right?
That's going to go. That'll build up pressure. It's going to do its thing.
I'm going to get this out of the way.
Meanwhile, I would be enjoying a glass of my 750 ml wine that somebody misplaced.
Okay.
We're going to blend up our soup.
We're going to blend up our soup. Let me get rid of this cutting board real quick, or just wipe it down. Okay.
This had little peppers on there. There was no other
chicken
or
just,
fish. All right.
We like to work clean. Basically,
you're not wrong.
I'm going to have to sweep the floors. But, okay, bringing my blender back. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, guys.
So in the blender, if you're just joining us, we do have the peppers, the tomatoes that we roasted.
The tomatoes. But what I'm going to do, what spoon should I use? Okay. Now I'm going to take my onions. Now, what's beeping?
It's beeping. I think it's just telling you,
Is it
I'm
telling
ready.
me it's ready? Oh, it's preheating. Okay. So this is the other thing. Your Instant Pot has to preheat. So it takes time for it to reach the level of heat and pressure, right? So it does take a little bit of time.
You're speaking to me. I know. I'm impatient.
Okay.
I get it. I know.
Right.
I have a hard time waiting for things to...
So what I'm going to do, and you could totally use a stick blender if you have it, like an immersion blender, no big deal. I don't have enough outlets over here, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, and I don't want to dirty up another dish. You could definitely use this as, keep the onion in there for some texture, but we're going bisque style.
You want smooth? I don't mind that because my tomato soup, I have I have 2 cups back there. Hopefully you have my Batman mug. because I like to drink my soup out of a Batman mug if you're going to puree it all. So I hope that's back there. I put a bunch of pre-things back there for you to set you up for success, Chef.
Did you? Did I put the stock in here? I don't think I put the stock in here yet.
Nope.
Well, shame on me.
That's all right.
I got stock right here.
It's not too late because you're still going to cook it, right?
I'm going to add it directly into here. Let's deglaze this pan over here with some stock. I'm using chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock if you want. You could use that chicken, the lemon rosemary, a little white wine, whatever you're into. Vodka, who knows?
Vodka, really? All right.
I don't know.
I mean, it's Thursday. You could do that.
All right. You have fear in my eyes?
I take big risks at big expense, Charlotte.
I'm not as brave as you, Tompkins. All right.
Brave's one word. Stupid, some people may use as a better word.
All right, I'm adding this in here. Look at this. This color is like, to die for. I love it. So beautiful. We're going to let this simmer a little bit. And I'm going to add in, but first we're going to add in our cheat, okay? Like this right here is good. This is good. But I'm going to add in my favorite cheat for tomato bisque.
What's your
just
cheese?
The way Tompkins said that, when you roast tomatoes, it takes time to cook, like to condense that sugar and cook out that acidity. I'm going to put straight up tomato, like pasta sauce, right?
Tomato
so
pasta sauce. All
it's already been cooked. It's already at that like peak like sweetness. It doesn't have a strong acidity. And I'm using a really high quality one. This is the Hearty de Calabria. And this is just the, marinara, tomato, and garlic, right? So just literally the ingredients are as follows. Tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, sea salt, parsley, basil, oregano, and black pepper. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And this is going to, it just helps it go further, and you don't have to cook down all those tomatoes, right?
Exactly, first canned tomatoes. Can I tell you a story about that pasta sauce?
Yes.
So we at HEB do a lot of what we do. We're very big on the farm to table, local products, using a lot of great farms. But we also have some great global farmers and purveyors we work with, and they're the company that makes that for us, Hearty de Calabria. It's literally made in a small factory by little old Italian grandmas, like hand stirring the sauce. It's such a gem of a find, and it's a really, really clean sauce. So if you have if you find yourself having allergies to different things, it's really, really just the basic ingredients for a marinara sauce.
Look at this guy. Look how pretty this looks.
And again, we're just adding more. You're adding a little more volume to it. So we talk about you talk about. I know your big thing, chef, is to cook once, eat twice. So for this, if you're going to make a little, I know what you're going to make because I know you wouldn't be serving tomato soup without a certain something that we're going to leave to the wonderment for the students. But
right,
if you're going to eat soup tonight and you're going to pour me soup in my Batman mug and we're going to have soup,
but
the leftover soup, you can then turn this sauce because it really is so close to a really creamy kind of tomato sauce. You can use it tomorrow over your pasta, a little fresh herbs, some fresh basil, and then heat the sauce up and pour that over your pasta, a little Parmesan cheese, 2 meals. One soup, just that easy.
What's even better is to make a baked pasta with that dish.
There you go, like a baked ziti with your cheese on top.
Yes. Oh, that sounds so good.
I know Terry and Anna are going to do it. They're already thinking about it.
Okay.
Put it together. Terry, I don't know what kind of a coffee machine, the espresso machine you're going to buy me, but I have real big champagne taste on beer budget. So whatever you want to do, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm into it. Whatever you want.
All right, I'm chopping up some basil. I've got my skillet over there. I'm going to throw this into my soup. I've got my skillet over here at medium-high heat. This is just a casita-ware cast iron. I love this pan.
Again, for under $40, you have a basically bulletproof pan you can put on an actual fire to cook at like a campsite. It's a fantastic pan.
Every time the steam comes out of that thing, it scares me to death. I'm like, this is it.
It's automatic venting, chef.
Yes. Okay. It's still alarming. All right. This guy is slow and low. Okay, if y'all haven't guessed yet, I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich. I know it wasn't on, there isn't a recipe provided, but
all right. Can I just say this about grilled cheese?
Yes.
Can you do me a favor? For those that have never had the tomato, that didn't grow up with tomato soup and grilled cheese.
Yes.
Will you do some fundamentals of making a good grilled cheese, kind of 101?
I'm here.
Like, what's the temp need to be? Do we need to butter the bread? What kind of bread is best to use? Cheeses, thoughts, question mark, exclamation point.
So I am going to stay in the theme of our tomato basil-y goodness, and I am going to use some fresh mozzarella that I shredded right here and some provolone. All right, so we got that good salty sharpness from the provolone. I'm also using our sourdough bread from the bakery, sliced, but you know what? The truth is it's that you use the bread that you have and use the bread that you want, all right? No right or wrong way.
Now, fresh bread, stale bread, does it matter?
Not for a grilled cheese. Well, you don't want to use, like, stuff that you could, like, you know.
Like the rainbow bread,
like
the super, like
brick a house with, like shingle a house.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the other.
Yeah.
I went the other direction. I went too soft.
Okay, so if you notice, I'm doing full coverage.
Now, why full coverage?
It's like sunscreen all over. You don't want to miss a spot, right? Because I want some flavor on every bit of this bread, but I also want a solid, like, I want that crust. I want that crunchy, like,
And the butter is also creating a barrier for the bread to not burn and get that nice kind of slow fat toasting.
Sunscreen, y'all. Sunscreen, all right?
Now let me ask you, Chef, can I use butter as real sunscreen when I go to South Padre? Can I use thoughts on that?
Yeah, go ahead, Tompkins.
Okay, we're going to slather. So you heard that. European better to slather on my skin for low burning? Is there a particular fat content I want to use?
I think, yeah.
I'm going to do it. If I get sunburned, Chef, I'm going to be so mad. I'm using 85% European. You heard her.
Come on, Freds. Tompkins, please don't do that. And you folks at home, please don't do that.
Too late. Somebody's got to do it.
Do you remember when they used to say, like, put butter on a burn?
Say it again?
Like, if you burn yourself, put butter on it?
I'm going to find out when I go to the beach this summer, but I usually use lavender on my burns.
That's what you said. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got fully buttered bread. Butter side down, right? Put it into my skillet, which is on low heat, all right?
Okay, important, right? You don't want to be, so you're high heat thinking you're going to get it done faster.
No.
You'll burn the bread.
You burn the bread and you got cold cheese. No good. You got to be patient with a grilled cheese, all right?
Patience is the game.
And then you eat it when it's super hot because you're impatient to eat it. And you go
melty.
All right, so we're going to do a little of this mozzarella.
So a little mozzarella. Okay, so that's our fresh H-E-B, fresh in-house made on mozzarella that you can find in the deli.
I like to shred it because it lets some of that moisture out. You know how it's got a lot of water? And that way you don't get a soggy grilled cheese.
Different mozzarellas have different moisture content.
Yep.
I like your provolone cheese. What's your go-to as far as, I know you're theming this one out, but what are some other go-tos as far as like
sharp
grilled
cheddar.
Cheese? Sharp cheddar? The single like the American cheese?
We'll do, you know what I really like sometimes when I'm feeling like nostalgic is like American. Like American cheese.
You know what I do? American and Gruyere. That's my part because it's like one's real melty and soft. The other one's kind of nutty and a little bit more cheesy.
Should I just put this piece of cheese on there?
Or if I can't find Gruyere, put it all in there. Or I just use provolone and like American because I like a little bit of that, like you said, a little saltiness, little kick to it. Okay, so butter. So you're going butter side up again.
Yep.
So butter in, but butter outside.
Yep.
Butter on top.
It's like the great butter battle. We got it on the inside and the outside, or the outside, bottom and the top. All right? We got a good simmer happening right here. We don't want this to boil because we don't want to scorch it.
You don't want to burn all that beautiful
That guy's
tomato.
going over there. I got things going all over the place.
It's all coming together.
It is all coming together. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream to this to give it that really good, like, biscuity, creamy, like, oh, so good. If you don't want to do the heavy cream, honestly, the recipe it'll be okay. And you could just do a little touch. This is just to kind of round it out for us.
And if you want your probiotics and a little extra tang, you can always throw a little dollop of yogurt in there. I like doing that in my soups.
Did you watch my yogurt class? Is that how you know that?
I may have caught it. I'm also just a big fan of yogurt.
All right, so we want to simmer this, not boil, because if you simmer it or if you boil it, it's going to be all these giant lava bubbles, but you're going to scorch it, and it's not going to taste really good. And the simmer is just those little bitty bubbles, right? Coming back to this.
How they doing? Don't burn them.
I'm not. I'm going to add a lid. You know what I'm going to do, y'all? I found this. This is not, it's stuck. It's not the one we sell at H-E-B, but
we do actually sell a grill press at H-E-B, Cocinaware.
I'm going to put a grill press on this bad boy and let that go. In the meantime, I'm coming back over here. What's your favorite grilled cheese? You said American and provolone?
Yeah, or American and Gruyere is like my go-to because I like the Gruyere that's a little nutty. But if you can't find that, then I go with like a provolone or something. Even like I love Munster or like, honestly, those H-E-B post-oak smoked cheeses are also phenomenal in grilled cheese. If you haven't discovered those in our deli, you can check those out.
I picked some up earlier. I just thought I would stick in the theme. Okay.
I think go with what you know,
So this guy right here, let me make sure. Let me
hot.
release all the steam.
It's out.
Okay, this guy's released. Staying warm. I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to bring this over. Oh, no.
Watch our sherry.
Here we go. I'm going to unplug it. All right.
Is it time?
I'm going to strain my
back. Pull your do your stretches. Stretch your
Okay. Oh, I did it.
Lift with your back, lift with your arms, not your back. It's the opposite of what I said.
My limb spaghetti noodle arms. All right. The big reveal. Here we go.
See a lot of steam working. There you go.
Ooh la la. Can y'all see that? So good. I love it. Okay. So in such a short amount of time, I mean, look at these. It's like falling apart. This is perfect. You can see those big chunks of carrot. The thyme is on top. I'm going to plate this up, guys, just so we can get some really good visuals on this. Okay, slow and low. We're still doing a thing over here. Nothing is smoking. It's beautiful. I've got some mashed potatoes. Let me get my plate. So when it comes to, I'm going to do two. When it comes to coq au vin, it has all this good sauce, right? That rich, herb and aromatic infused wine from chicken and the bacon. It needs a vessel to deliver it to your face, right? A bed of mashed potatoes always, right?
Usually I use a fork. Is that what you use to deliver it to your face?
And also bread, like a nice piece of crusty bread would be also brilliant on this. Y'all don't judge. I'm gonna use my favorite.
Can I order one of those as well? Can I get that on the fly as well? That one.
Look,
the little mashed
like
potatoes.
Cafeteria. Who wants Salisbury steak?
Get the gravy.
Sure, I know, right? It's my favorite utensil, y'all. Leave me alone.
I love it.
It's just so useful. Look at how useful it is. Come on.
I only use that tool, Charlotte. The only tool I use that for is for ice cream. That's it.
Really?
It sits in my thing. If there's not ice cream, it doesn't.
Seriously?
I don't use it.
Okay. I'm going to pull out this.
Tongs is my weapon of choice.
We don't need this guy anymore. I don't want to eat that. Put that right there.
All the time.
Oh, man.
You could also throw bay leaves in this. You could throw any number of different things. Wow, look at that. Steaming. This is what I love about coq au vin, though, like these braised dishes, is you just, with your fork, you just shred it over everything. It just falls apart.
Look at this guy.
That's money right there.
See this guy.
If you're just joining us, you are watching. It's never too late to join. You are watching the soups class. Tomato basil about to get plated up. We got the coq au vin that's coming in right. You're here just in time for the coq au vin coming right out of the Instant Pot on a bed of mashed potatoes. All the vegetables, all the bone-in chicken thighs. Oh, yeah.
Now, if you wanted a thicker sauce, you could pull this off or sit it back on take the chicken out, put it on the saute setting, and reduce that and get a thicker sauce. But I like it just the way it is.
Yeah, the longer you let it sit, the more it'll kind of reduce. You can always add just a touch more flour, too, if you like it a bit thicker.
Okay. And then, remember, I didn't forget about that bacon, y'all.
Oh, yeah, don't forget my bacon, chef.
Okay, did I not, Well, is he... you know what I did? Other than everything perfectly, I didn't seal its thing, so it's over here just
it's just steaming out. That's all right.
It's all good.
It's trying. It's struggling against itself.
There's our bacon. There it is.
Coq au vin done. All right.
Okay.
Chef? Did you see my Batman cup back there? No Batman cup? No Batman mug? I gotta have my Batman mug. No. It's back there. Did you throw it away because you thought it was somebody else's?
Your Batman cup?
You could tell me. Just tell me you threw it away. You thought it was somebody who left this. Who would leave this here? I bought it specifically for soup.
I was like, folks, is it
drink the soup how you want.
Do you see this?
It looks beautiful.
Do you hear how I don't know if you can hear it over the steam guy over there, but
I'm expecting that's what's going to happen to my skin when I go to the beach with my 85% butterfat on my sunscreen.
So
that's what I'm
good.
hoping.
So good. Okay, this guy's
California
perfect.
Tan.
See how nothing is scorched. Everything is perfect.
It's all had time to kind of sit.
Yes, okay. Let me get some more basil from the refrigerator because I used it all.
Fresh basil. All right, look at the coq au vin. Really simple, great braised dish. We cut it in half the time by using an Instant Pot. Obviously, It's got a bone-in chicken thigh, braised dish, takes a little bit longer, pressure cooking.
So good.
Made it that much easier. Made it a weeknight dish.
So good.
I'm missing. You're doing a great job, Chef. My only criticism, I'm missing a few things. You can't find my wine glass. That's my 750 ml. It's big. You can't miss it.
Is your wine glass and your Batman mug the same thing? Is that what I'm hearing and understanding?
Maybe.
Okay. So we're going to do a little chiffonade of basil right here.
A little more basil over the soup to garnish. Love it.
And then grab my bowls. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys sound wonderful over here. A little crunchy, guys.
Getting crunchy. Look like the cheese is melting. We're doing it over low heat. We're doing it. That's
low,
the 101.
Slow and low. Y'all want to see the cool, like a super pro tip when you're doing soup? You got your ladle. You stir it like this. For some reason, you have to do this, and then you pull it up, and then you go boop down. No, oh man, it dripped.
Oh,
I was going to show you the no drip, but
you know what? This I don't know if you're just joining us. This show happens in real time. There are no commercials. There's no. It just whatever happens happens, and you're here for it. But that's what this is real life. You know, that's what cooking is.
Real life. Man, there's something about a grilled cheese sandwich.
And now not only just with there's nothing wrong with canned tomato soup, so I'm not hating on canned tomato soup, but even so much more so the grilled cheese with the homemade roasted tomato basil soup.
Let me find my clean towel. Clean towel.
My basil.
Clean up my rim a little bit there. We'll do a little bit of basil there, but we're not done yet. We're not done.
What else are you going to put on there?
I got to get my grilled cheese sandwiches, guys. Ah. Come here, you. You go there.
Ready to go? Are we ready for this?
Stop, look.
Melty cheese.
What? Oh my gosh.
Don't hurt my grilled cheese. You gonna put some more basil inside my grilled cheese?
Put some basil in there.
Got any extra bacon you can throw in there since you're
do.
doing a little open heart surgery?
We're gonna put a little balsamic. You want bacon in that?
Do you have some?
I do.
Yep. That's like kind of asking your tire's flat. You want air in that? Nope. I'll just take it. I would like it as is.
I'm gonna cut this guy in half, and then. Have you ever seen the where you put the croutons?
A giant crouton. That's like you see the Bloody Marys nowadays. Like you see the giant steak or the slider that's stuck on the outside. That's a Texas-sized crouton for the tomato basil.
Or you could do this like this.
Yeah, Terry would like bacon on hers too. Okay, so the next one you're doing, she would also like bacon on hers.
Just do a
Thank
little.
you, Terry. Thank you for validating. I appreciate you.
All right. You just put these guys in there like a crouton.
I mean, basically, that's like oyster crackers now. You'll just dunk them in there and go to town.
I'm telling you.
Look,
at this.
it's Thursday night.
Look at this.
This
is my so good. So good.
The mozzarella. That's why you got to have a good melty cheese along with whatever sharp cheese you're doing.
All right, we're going to put in this delicious balsamic. This is like an aged balsamic. It's
a little sweetness, right? A little bit of sweetness for that.
Y'all want bacon in this one too, or what?
Yeah, Terry said yes.
Okay,
She did not mince words.
Okay.
Put some bacon on that one too.
Bacon, bacon, bacon. And then we'll do y'all want to do the super Instagram, where they go, ooh.
Wait, you got to do it again. Do the fold. I need to see the squish for the cheese.
The squish.
I didn't have my phone out, so I missed the whole.
Oh, man. But anyway, that's it. I mean, this is it. It's so easy. 2 soups that are relatively classic with some really easy ways to go. We did that coq au vin in the Instant Pot. You could also do it in the Dutch oven. Oh, gosh. Catching things on fire. You could also do it in the Dutch oven. Same technique, just takes a little bit longer. Incidentally, you could do that tomato basil soup straight in the Instant Pot as well. So they're interchangeable. And then all we did is just add in these little elements of flavor elevation with the roasting and the...
just kicking it up.
Yeah, just kicking it up. So thank you guys so much for joining us. If you've missed anything, you can always go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HEB, and check out all these different classes that we've created and some really funny moments. You can go to heb.com/classes to find out what's happening next.
I know what's happening next.
What is it?
Next week, from Texas Farms to Texas Tables, a little Tex Fest celebration, which is happening right now in stores, the Best of Texas. You'll find some great stuff. We're going to really do, class is going to be focused all on the fantastic produce and different things manufactured, made right here in Texas, in our backyard.
Yes. So thank you again for spending time with us today. I am super grateful. Y'all have a great evening. From my kitchen to yours.
Thank you, Chef.
See you later. Bye.